and recess it, and we can wait a couple minutes to see if we have any other board members arrive.
Okay.
Because right now we have no quorum.
Okay. Do you want to do that?
You're the vice chair.
What do I do?
Just go ahead and call it to order and recess.
Calling this meeting to order, and we're going to go to recess.
Thank you.
Today's meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is called to order on June 22nd. Welcome, everyone. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please be seated. The agendas of today's meeting are on the wall at the entrance to chambers. Please remember to turn off your cell phones. The Municipal Code Enforcement Board consists of 7 members who are appointed by the City Council. We serve voluntarily. It is this board's intention to promote, protect, and improve the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Clearwater by providing this equitable, effective, and inexpensive method of enforcing certain codes within the city. The board considers new business items in 2 parts. First, the violation, and then affirm relief. Formal rules of evidence do not apply. Each side is limited to 15 minutes. The board may grant additional time. All proceedings will be conducted in a calm, civil manner. Individuals who conduct themselves otherwise will be asked to leave. If necessary, they will be escorted from the chambers. Now I ask all who plan to speak to rise and be sworn in by the clerk.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth throughout your entire testimony?
I do.
Yes. Thank you.
Our first order of business is to review and approve the minutes of last month's meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Is there anyone here to speak to items not on the agenda? Please step to the podium and state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak on a subject that is not on today's agenda.
I'm Kevin Garrett, and I am with the Planning and Development Department, Building Department, and I just wanted to remind you that there's a mic in front of you, and to kind of lean into that, because last meeting was very difficult to hear, so you have to sometimes kind of speak towards it, and then we can all hear you.
Can you hear me so far today?
Yep, you're
Okay.
good.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, next on the agenda are new business items. That's continued to July.
Chair, item 4.1 is continued to July,
Okay,
and 4.2 has been withdrawn,
okay,
so 4.3 will be.
okay. Okay. Case number 3722, respondents Turner One LLC at 908 Turner Street in violation for code for residential grass parking and residential rental business tax receipts. Is there anyone here to speak on this case? Please step to the podium and state your name and address.
Robin Mallory, 10596 Nina Street, Seminole, Florida.
Okay.
Sandra Castles, 10596 Nina Street, Seminole, Florida.
I'm sorry, what was the last name?
Castles?
Thank you.
Okay, do you admit to the violation?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, then thank you. Please have a seat in the front and I will call you back. Is the property in compliance?
There's actually one violation is going to be a declaration of violation for today. That's
Okay.
for the business tax receipt that was obtained for the rental.
Okay,
The other violation for grass parking is still occurring at the property. And I will go through the case just so we can take a look at it.
okay. Can we do the declaration on the BTR first? Okay, can I get a declaration?
I move to find the respondent was in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavits of this case. The violation was corrected prior to today's hearing, and we enter in order that no fine be imposed. The respondent repeats the violation. The board may order a fine up to $500 for each day the violation continues to exist.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Good afternoon, board. This is Daniel Kasman, Code Enforcement Inspector for the City of Clearwater. This is for case number 37-22 for 908 Turner Street. There were 2 violations here. Code Section 3-1407A5 for grass parking, and Code Section 3-2302 for residential rental business tax receipt, but that has come into compliance, is now a declaration. Notices of violation were sent on February 16th of 2022 and March 22nd of 2022. Compliance dates of March 16th of 2022 and March 27th of 2022. The affidavit of posting was posted on March 27th, 2022, and the notice of hearing was posted to the property on June 10th of 2022. Turner Street is kind of a skinny street in Clearwater. There's not a lot of parking available. A lot of the property is there are skinny, long lots. Some of them have rear parking areas, but there's been a lot of rash of just parking all over the front yard in the area. I was going by and I saw this vehicle parked out front in Turner Street. There were also a few other properties in the street that also had similar grass parking situations. This was the affidavit of posting. I never received the green card for the violation I sent. It's posted on the 22nd. Vehicles are parked in the front yard here and there, time to time. I have been in contact with the owners. They did explain that the issue with parking adjacent to the driveway right there is that the water meter is located right there. There was talk of putting in, either extending the driveway on the left side of the house, because as you can see, it's only so long and it becomes grass pretty quickly, or possibly putting a parking spot where that blue car is currently located in the front lawn, if it would be allowed by the zoning. But I've been back to the property several times. The business tax receipt was not obtained. There was still a grass parking issue and no permits pulled for any of the driveway additions that were spoken about before. So on the 4th of May, and again on the 16th, there were 2 vehicles parked in the grass. And this is just showing proof that they now have a business tax receipt in our Acela system, so that was taken care of. I went by today and the vehicles weren't there, but it comes and goes. We had a conversation today about keeping in contact with the inspectors so I can know what their plans are going forward, because I hadn't heard from them for a few months. So this is what the parking looks like right now. Again, one of the vehicles is on that concrete pad, but there's only about space for 2 vehicles. Any third vehicle would have to be parked next to it in the street, because the driveway doesn't extend all the way to the fence on that side of the home. Any questions?
I assume the business tax receipt was because it's a rental?
Yes.
I'll make the first motion. I move to find the respondent in violation.
Wait, don't we need to hear from them first?
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get that one out there.
did you want to? Sorry. I appreciate the aggression. Hi. Any comments, any
So
discussion?
we certainly want to fix the problem.
Yeah.
That's an investment property for us, so we want the values to continue to rise. One option obviously is to park on the street, but that's a tough street.
It is tight
A
there.
lot of people drive crazy down it, so.
Yeah.
Very, very fast. So we talked to the residents about parking on the street, and they were all opposed to that because, if my car gets hit, I can't afford to replace it,
Yeah.
and everybody speeds up and down there, including the police, the fire department, and the ambulances.
Yeah,
So Dan has been we had a very long conversation with him just a little while ago, which was very helpful. So he gave us some options and some things to look at. Honestly, street parking would be great, but
yeah. That would be a
without
challenge.
speed bumps or something else, I understand
Yeah.
the concerns.
Yeah,
I think we have 3 options, either the street parking, which might not be a very good one, putting a parking space to the right of the sidewalk, or extending the driveway
yeah,
on the left side. So we just need a little bit of time to,
okay,
if you could allow that to research our options. We have contacted a few different contractors because it's not homesteaded. We need to go through a contractor.
yeah,
And it's a little difficult to get a hold of people and get them to come out. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to be more persistent and get some quotes and see what options that the city would allow.
okay. Do you have any in mind? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have a timeline
Yeah, that's my question.
of when that's going to occur?
Suggesting,
Uh,
say July.
Currently, the current recommendation is July 22nd, 2022, which would be 30 days. If we want to allow for 60 days, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Okay. You guys, what do you think? I think I'd be okay with 60 days because it takes forever.
Construction being so slow. Just curious if there's any risk of a repeat violation if it's a long-term tenant in the house, or is it kind of different
Long-term.
tenants?
They're
It is,
long-term
okay, so they'll
tenants.
probably be more compliant with you guys once you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was thinking Airbnb, I just know it's so much turnover.
No, they're annual, long-term, yeah. Also, there are apparently several departments that we need to contact within the city for visibility, and then, I don't know, I'm calling it design standards, that's probably the wrong word to use, but, so we have to contact a couple different departments to find out what the rules are as far as how they're
Yeah.
looking at it.
Yeah, just work with the inspector, he can help you.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had to stay in touch with him. I thought once he passed it off to somebody else in permitting maybe, or Anna, somebody, that I didn't realize that I dropped the chain of command with him, or chain of communication, so I didn't realize I had to stay in touch with Dan. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
But now I know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have a seat, and then we're going to hear the recommendations formally, and then we will make a decision on the timeline. And thank you for coming in today.
All right, Daniel Chasm, Code Enforcement Inspector for the City of Clearwater for 908 Turner Street, case number 37-22. There's currently one violation here for grass parking. I'm requesting compliance on it before July 22nd of 2022, or a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day the violation continues to exist. I'm asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law.
Okay. But we're okay with doing the 60 days, right, to August?
What would be a good date in August for us to put on it?
August 22nd,
Just go with that.
August 22nd. The
21st.
21st.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I moved to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before August 21st. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of up to $250 per violation per day if the violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I'm sorry, Ms. Davis, if you could just say the amount of the daily fine. You said up to $250?
Oh, $500. Is it?
No, it's $150 per day.
Oh, thank you. $150 per day. I'll repeat the motion. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, settle, or collect on such lien.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, we have a second on that, however, there is no first motion finding the violation.
Right.
So sorry.
I move to find the respondents in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we're good?
Okay. Compliance can be met for grass parking by parking one vehicle in the grass and only if it is parallel and adjacent to the driveway and the residential rental business tax receipt they've obtained, so that's no longer an issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Case 3922, respondents Martin L. Altner Trust, Lawrence J. Finkel at 312 South Betty Lane in violation of code for roof maintenance and residential rental business tax receipt. Is there anyone here to speak on this case? No? Okay. Are you requesting a declaration?
No, the property's still in violation for both of these violations.
Okay.
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Good afternoon, Board. Daniel Chasm, Code Enforcement Inspector for the City of Clearwater. This is for case number 39-22 for 312 South Betty Lane. There are two violations here for Code Section 3-1502 D1, D3, and D5 for roof maintenance, clean roof, and false roof elements, and Code Section 3-2302 for residential rental business tax receipt. A notice of violation was sent on March 1st of 2022 and again on April 4th of 2022. The compliance date of April 1st, 2022 and April 9th, 2022. There was an affidavit of posting posted on April 4th of 2022, and a notice of hearing was posted on June 10th of 2022. This is 312 South Betty Lane. It's a duplex. When I first showed up to the property, I could notice there was some issues with the fascia on the front there. On the side of the building, there's some really tall bushes. They'd drawn my eye, and I'd seen there was some damage behind where the bushes were. I had spoken with a man claiming to represent the owner, who was a property manager, who said he would take care of the bushes and take care of the issues with the fascia and the soffits on the property. And he would cut this all back because it was just growing into the roof and causing issues. This was just showing that currently it's rented to a Paula Morris, and there's no business tax receipt on file in our system for this property. This was the posting of the affidavits for the violations because I never received a green card. I took another look at the property. At the same time, it was still being rented at the time with no BTR in our system. Went back on the 11th after the compliance date and took a closer look. They had chopped down the trees and the bushes, but when I took a closer look to the patio area, the entire roof has collapsed in there, which was somewhat hidden by the bushes that were still there. And there's sunlight coming through, and as I took a look further back, there were more issues, more algae mildew on the property, and then it seems the entire rear of the property has been wrapped in a tarp, and there's a tarp on the roof as well. I tried contacting the property manager who had spoken with me once. No one's gotten back to me with anything. I've sent notice. No one's tried to get in contact with me, and I've seen no change in any of the problems at the area. That's just showing that that tarp extends around the building. This was the posting of the notice of hearing for today's hearing on the 10th of June. This is the 16th. Went back. Still issues with the roof, and the tarp still on the roof. These are photos from today. Still the same issues, a bunch of debris on the top of the roof, and they're still renting the property and don't have a business tax receipt in our system. So, any questions?
Any reason you're not unable to reach the owners? Like, is it just not listed? Is it?
There's no contact listed. Part of what makes a business tax receipt for rentals so important is that it gives us a contact for any violations at the property, and tends to show when people don't want to get a business tax receipt, they don't want to be found.
Well, that's unfortunate because there's a lot going on at that property.
Yes, there certainly is.
Okay, do you have recommendations?
This is case number 39-22, 312 South Betty Lane. 2 violations for roof maintenance, residential business tax receipt, requesting compliance on or before July 22nd of 2022, or a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day the violations continue to exist. We're asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under law.
I'll make the motion. I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before July 22nd. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Compliance can be met for the roof maintenance by removing all tarps from the roof, repairing any damage to the roof fascia, soffits, and roof of the patio. In addition, please remove all debris from the roof. And compliance can be met for residential rental business tax receipt by obtaining a residential rental business tax receipt or by ceasing to rent the property.
Thank you. All right, case 4022, respondents Denise M. Jordan at 14 Seagrape Circle in violation of code for permits. Is there anyone to speak on this case? No? Okay. Are you requesting a declaration of violation?
Yeah, I guess so, because she didn't show up. She never contacted me to let me know that she was not gonna show up. So if you like, I would like to show you the photographs. Very simple, easy case.
Okay.
Nilda Espinosa, housing inspector. This is for a light, it's a townhome. Have to have a contractor to work on a townhome. The owner put in a light in the back. And I sent notice of violation on 10/19/2021, 12/27/2021, and 3/15/2022. And compliance was for November 18, 2021, January 18, 2022, and April 4, 2022. I received the return receipt in October. Can't give you the date because I can't remember, but I mark it with yellow highlight, and I saw her handwriting, and I said to myself, really nice handwriting. And then the December and March cards came back unsigned. Notice of hearing was posted on the property in March, and I got that certified mail. Return was in April 6th of 2022, and affidavit of posting was done May 4th, 2022. This is where the property is located. It's just north of Belcher Bay, between Bayshore Boulevard and Macmillan Booth Road, south of Drew. This is the front of the townhome. This is the light that was installed. I went there back in May. It was still there. I went there this morning. It's still there. This is the posting for today's hearing. What did I do? Any questions?
How were you made aware that the light was ever installed by the homeowner and not a contractor?
Neighbor called and let me know. Said that it was so bright that it was coming into his house. And I looked in the computer to see if there was a permit applied
Okay.
for. Nothing.
So we know it wasn't a contractor who actually did it.
I don't know if they did or not, but I can assure you that there was no permit. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here if there was one.
So
But
they-
if he did a permit, he's allowed to have that light? Would that get approved?
I don't. That's not up to me. That would be up to the HOA. They handle that stuff. The city does not get involved with that.
Okay.
So for them to just come in compliance, they need to remove it.
They can come in and get a permit. She did call me the first time she got the first notice and said that she would be looking for a contractor. The next time I sent notice, she said that she couldn't find one. She has spoken to me. She has spoken to the assistant building official, Dana Root.
All right, I think we still need a declaration of violation.
Can you go back to the recommendation?
We do need a first motion for this.
Yeah, we need a first.
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we are recommending that compliance be on or before July 29th, 2022. Should be enough time to find a contractor. I know they've been very busy, but more than enough time. A fine of $150 per day. After 3 months of the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law.
I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before July 29th. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of up to $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
My second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and to meet compliance is to apply and obtain required permits and pass inspections.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, case number 5722, respondents Michael Monroe at 2572 Deer Run East in violation of code for permits. Is there anyone to speak on this case? Nope. Are you requesting a declaration of violation?
No.
No? Okay.
afternoon, Board. This is case number 57-22, 2572 Dare Run East. I'm Inspector Swinton, Housing Inspector for the City of Clearwater. We do have one violation at this property at this time. This is a no active water service. This is a violation of the Clearwater Community Development Code, Property Maintenance Section 3-1502.m.2 and Section 505.1 Water System. I sent out a first housing report back in 5/13/21. That certified mail was returned back to me on 5/17/21. Second housing report was sent to the property owner on 6/25/21. Certified mail was returned 6/30/21. And then the housing report was then posted January 6/2022. And I also posted the notice of hearing for today's hearing and a copy of the housing report on 5/13/22. This property is located just south of 580 between Landmark and East Enterprise Avenue. This is 2572. This is the posting of the first housing report that was on January 6/22. This is the housing report and today's hearing that was posted on 5/13/22. This is another picture. I went out this morning and the posting from the original housing report is still on the garage door. It hasn't been removed. However, the posting for today's hearing has been removed from the mailbox. Just wanted to verify that there was power at this at this home. There is active electrical service at the home at this time.
Does it look like someone's living there?
I have never encountered anyone, but I do have an inspector who has had previous encounters with that individual. So I can't contest if there's someone there at this present time or not, but there is a car parked in the driveway. So.
And this has been going on for a year, so if somebody is living there without water.
Since, as far as we know, since 2020.
And you know that from looking at the city records?
Correct.
Billing?
Right.
Wow.
And explain the code to me that it's required, because if it's vacant, then.
Right, if the city adopted the International Property Maintenance Code, so we now follow that code, and within that section, water is a requirement, that there have to be some attachment either to the city system or a sewer system of some approved manner. Since there isn't any water there, it becomes a very inhabitable place, I'm sure, and so that is the violation at this time. I have not been inside, and honestly, I don't care to go inside. But I'm sure the individual that lives there, from what we understand, the neighbors are the ones that are complaining. So I'm not sure what's going on with that at this time.
This is random, but would they be allowed to have a well to operate their water? And if so, would that be a permit required by the city?
I would have to yield to the assistant building official for that question, I'm not sure.
I mean, that's not
When it comes to
urgent, it's just my
wells.
random thoughts.
There's gotta be someone
You want to drink the well water?
I know.
Hi, I'm Dana Root. I'm the Assistant Billing Official. To answer your question, the only thing I can say is maybe. I don't know if the city requires you. If there is city service there, then you have to use it. So I'm not sure.
Okay,
But yes, they would need a permit for a drilled well.
okay, awesome. Thank you.
And no one's been in contact with the homeowner at this point. Like they saw the notice for today's hearing, but.
I have not currently been in contact with him. If you want to hear from Inspector Brown, she has more insight on who this individual is, and she can speak on that behalf.
Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon. Shelby Brown, Code Inspector, City of Clearwater. We've had this property before the Code Board. This will be the fourth time for various items. Code Compliance has had it for property maintenance and various nuisance abatements. My last contact with the property owner was December 22nd, when we were moving forward with a towing of that vehicle that you saw there. And at that time, we had a very, very hostile, scary encounter with the property owner. He doesn't come to the door, but he did once the tow was happening and we had to have the police out, and he's there.
Okay.
All right, and he wants to stay off the radar, but the neighbors are stricken, you know, and it's a scary situation, and as Sam said, there has been no water at that property since 2020.
When you
So-
say the neighbors are stricken, what is he doing that,
He's living in a property with no running water, which is, in itself, probably a health concern.
yeah,
Mr. Monroe has demonstrated some mental capacity issues in the past. I've experienced those things firsthand, so the neighbors, even though they are not here today, you know, they're scared. They're very scared, and his vehicle's been taken away, it had to get towed back, it doesn't operate, so he's just there under the radar, inhabiting the house, to our knowledge, so that's why we asked, you know.
He's the owner of the house.
Correct, and it's a homestead property.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Brown, when you said December, what year would that be?
December 22nd of 2021 was when we did the abatement and towed the vehicle away, and then eventually it was, I think he brought it back like 3 months later.
And so that would have been after the May of 2021 report that Mr. Swinton was speaking of?
Correct.
Thank you, that's all.
You're welcome. Good.
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and recommendations?
Recommendation for case 5721, no active word research, we're requesting compliance on or before July 22nd, 22, or a fine of $50 per day for each day the violation continues to exist. We're asking that the board authorize the following: after 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines and fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law.
Move that to the 21st, to our meeting instead of the 22nd.
July 22nd is our meeting, August 1st is the other meeting.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, okay.
If you could just talk louder so we can.
We were trying to go over the compliance date.
Yeah,
So he's recommending July 22nd.
and that's the date of our next meeting, correct?
27th, I'm sorry.
Oh, the 27th.
Okay, so
Oh,
they should be in
That's good.
compliance before. I'll make the motion. I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before July 22nd. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of up to $50 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right, thank you.
Our August 21st is our August meeting. The 21st is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
All right, case 5822, respondents Joanna Turquoise, Reyes, and Ivani Sanchez Espisha at 529 Skyview Avenue in violation of code for permits. Is there anyone to speak on this case? Okay, please step to the podium and state your name and address.
Johanna Turcios Reyes, 529 Skyview Avenue.
Okay, thank you. Do you admit to the violation?
Yes.
Okay, please have a seat. We'll call you back up. Thank you. Okay, so we have an admit.
And this again is case, 58-21, 529 Skyview Avenue. There's one violation at this property: install a wooden shed. Sections 4-203.8.1, Section 47.083, Section 2.
Mr. Swinton, is the
Yes.
property in compliance?
It is not.
It is not. May I have a motion on the violation, please?
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Please continue. Thank you.
Okay. A permit application was submitted on 4/30/21. That permit application, after some time of sitting, expired on March 24/22. The notice of violation was sent out on March 29/22. Certified mail receipt was received 4/7/22. The notice of hearing for today's hearing was sent out on 5/19/22, and that certified receipt was received 5/27/22. This property is located just off of Gulf the Bay, just west of Lake, behind the Church's Chicken, if you know where that's located. This is a view of the behind the green building, the shed, which is located on this would be the south side of the home. This is another picture that was taken from the north side of the home, a little closer view. Just another view. This photo was taken this morning. The shed is still there. And it is a 12-by-12 shed, so it's over the size that requires a permit.
I was gonna ask that question.
10 by 10 is
That's where you
a
don't.
limit.
Any other questions? Okay, can we hear from? Okay, do you have any questions or understand what the issue is?
We submitted an application for another permit already, but they say they need a engineer plan, so we're working on getting it.
Okay.
That's it.
Do you have a timeline on when you think you'll have that plan from an engineer?
Probably 30 days.
30 days? Okay. All right, anybody questions?
Are you sure 30 is going to be long enough for you?
Have you made contact with the engineer? And
Not yet, because I don't know anything about that. My husband is the one who.
sometimes
Okay.
it just takes longer when you actually speak with them. They're booked like 30 days out, just in their time constraints. So if you do need more time, you should let us know and request that. That way we can deliberate and see if that's something we can do. Maybe 60 days, I don't know. If you think 30 is fine, then we can.
Yeah, 60 days.
60 days, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay with that? Okay.
It does take time.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we hear your recommendations, and then would you be okay with the 60 days?
Yes, I have no problem with the 60 days. The recommendation for this work without permit, we're requesting the permit be issued on or before July 22nd, or a fine of $150 per day for each day the violation continues to exist. Also asking that the board authorize the following: after 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if fines and fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office is authorized to close, collect, settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law.
So that's August 21st?
Yeah, this would be the 21st.
Okay, 21st. And it's not a request to actually remove the structure, right? They just,
No, for compliance to be met, it is going to obtain a building permits, schedule and pass all the inspections.
okay. I'll do the motion, and it's 150
Yes.
per day? Okay. I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before August 21st. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of up to $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Do you understand what needs to be done? Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, case 5922, respondents Gloria Ruiz, 1609 North Washington Avenue, in violation of code for permits. Is there anyone to speak on this case? Nope. Okay. Is this property in compliance?
This property is not in full compliance.
Not in full compliance. They love those partial answers.
I can just go through some pictures right quick and then give my recommendation. This property is located off of North MLK, just south of Fairmont Avenue. right across from the Cherry Harris Park. It is a 3-foot fence that was put up. This is a picture from 10/15/21. Another view of the fence that was installed. Just a few more here. And this is what it looks like this morning. They have taken down the panels, but the posts remain. So that's why I say partially.
Okay. The
Required.
posts have to come up as well.
Just a couple more pictures.
Is the fence allowed to be there if it's permitted?
I would have to say no,
No?
simply because they took it down, and they did come in to speak with zoning. So I'm assuming that they got information that they didn't like, and that's the reason they removed it.
And it looks like it's a corner lot,
It is a
too,
corner lot.
so there's different setbacks.
Correct.
Okay. So now those posts just need to be, but I wonder if they concreted them in.
I'm sure they have been concreted.
Oh,
It looks
my.
like concrete in the bottom of them.
Okay.
So more work to do.
We need a first motion.
Yeah, we do need a first motion.
I move to find the respondent in violation of the code as referred to in the affidavit in this case.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, Ann's recommendations?
Recommendation for case 59-2, work without permit, requesting compliance on or before July 22nd, for a fine of $150 per day for each day the violation continues to exist. Also asking the board to authorize the following. After 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, if the fines, fees remain unpaid, the city attorney's office authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law.
I move to enter an order requiring the respondent to correct the violations on or before July 22nd. If the respondent does not comply by that date, the board may order a fine of up to $150 per day per violation for each day each violation continues to exist. If fines and fees remain unpaid, 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Okay,
Set.
All set, thank you.
so next is unfinished business, and
Lump them together.
we can accept all the affidavits of compliance as listed.
I move to accept the affidavits of compliance as listed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, love that. Easements, abatements. Hold on, I don't know where I'm at.
Just two. 7.3.
Okay. I move to enter an order finding the respondent.
Actually, yeah, we need to let her call the case, and then these don't, we need to make sure there's nobody in the audience for these. Yeah.
Hold on. Can't find where I'm
And
at.
then, I don't know if the inspector wants to present.
Case
Okay.
4620.
I know,
Did you want to
I'm
go?
here.
She's looking for her nuisance abatement.
Yes.
Yeah. She's gonna
Talking
say.
to it now, we know.
Yeah.
Business. Clients. Production. I don't see any of this. So I guess we're gonna have to wing it. Oh, there we go. All right. So the first two withdrawn. Okay, so case 4622, the nuisance abatement lien for respondent 6 or SRP sub LLC at 2846 Pheasant Run for lot clearing. Is there anyone here to speak on this nuisance abatement? No. Okay.
Hi, Board. Shelby Brown, Code Inspector, City of Clearwater. This is a nuisance abatement case. We'll kind of blast through it pretty quickly. It's for 2846 Pheasant Run, and it's case 46-22. Basically, there's one violation at this property for lot clearing, i.e. it's overgrowth or an accumulation of undergrowth. It's a residential property and countryside, and basically they've got an obstructed sidewalk. It's super obstructed. And we just can't get them to do anything about it. I said a notice of violation was posted on April 26th. I issued a courtesy letter on March 22, and I first went to the house on March 4th and left a door hanger. I've been to the house 5 times to leave word, and still nothing. So then I sent the notice of violation on April 26th of 2022 with a compliance date of May 10th, 2022. I did get the certified mail green card back on May 5th, 2022 from the property owner, which is, it's a rental. It's a registered rental. That part's sorted out. All right, this is, you're looking at Enterprise Road. This property backs up to Enterprise Road. This is a super well-traveled sidewalk, and on April 25th, you can see there's barely any sidewalk left under there. Their hedges are just growing way into the sidewalk. There's leaves everywhere. It's a mess. People's heads are running into things there, and I get calls about it all the time. It's just ongoing. Here's a picture of my posting at the property on April 26th at the front. People live there, but there it is. This was June 17th. As you can see, that's my face. You know, you cannot get down this sidewalk without running into things. It's so narrow, and it's just not safe. That's a main road right there. And then the right-of-way all the way out to the street, that's dead grass at this point, but they're responsible to maintain it all the way down to the street, and the sidewalk just needs to be cleared from all that vegetation. What you're seeing there extends out the entire length, and it's really long. It's a really long frontage. And there's another view looking east the other way. You can just see the sidewalk gets skinnier and skinnier, and it's really hard to get by. Here's an example of what a real sidewalk looks like next door. Okay, so just kind of comparing, you know, bad, good. That's it. We just want permission to be able to abate it if they don't take care of it.
Okay. May I have a motion to accept?
I move to enter an order finding the respondent in violation of code and require the respondent to correct violations within 5 days of board's written order. If respondent does not comply with the time specified, the city may take all responsible actions, including entry onto the property to abate and maintain the nuisance, and charge the respondent with the reasonable cost, which will become a lien on the property. If costs, fines, and fees remain unpaid for 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, case 47-22, nuisance abatement lien for C&L Properties at 172 North Belcher for inoperative vehicle. Is there anyone to speak on this? Nope. Okay.
Good afternoon again, Board. Daniel Kasman, Code Enforcement Inspector for the City of Clearwater. This is for case number 47-22 for 172 North Belcher Avenue. That's a nuisance abatement. There's one violation here for Code Section 3-1503B6 for an operative vehicle outdoor storage. Notice of violation was sent on May 26th of 2022 with a compliance date of June 6, 2022. An affidavit with posting with the same notice was posted at City Hall on the same date of the posted vehicle. So this is 172 North Belcher. It's closest to Drew and Belcher. It's an interesting property. I don't quite understand what's going on there, but there seems to be some activity at the property. I found this Toyota 4Runner with no license plate on it. So we've posted the vehicle with notice, with today's hearing and a compliance date. That's what the vehicle looks like after being posted. I went back on the 9th of June, and the vehicle still has no license plate. Notice is still on the vehicle. Went back on the 16th, the vehicle's been moved, it looks like it's been cleaned, but there's still no license plate on it. And then I went back today, and again, they still have no license plate on the vehicle. So no one's tried to contact me or anything, but looks like someone's taking notice. For case number 47-22, 172 North Belcher Avenue, one violation for an operative vehicle and requesting compliance on or before 5 days from the date the board renders its order. And we're asking the board to authorize the following: for the Code Compliance Division, take all reasonable actions, including entry in the property, to abate and maintain the nuisance and charge the violator with reasonable costs, which become a lien on the property. And after 3 months from the recordation date of such lien, the fines and fees remain unpaid. The city attorney's office is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien using any legal or equitable remedies available under the law.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On that, like, would, if they were, I guess, going through the process of getting a tag, is that something that you would be able to find, or no, that's beyond what you're responsible for?
If we have a system called David, which we can use. I could look up the VIN to see if it's currently registered,
Yeah.
but even if it was registered, you still have to display the license plate on the vehicle with the tag. And of course, if someone was to contact me and say,
Yeah.
I have a date with the DMV to get the
Yeah.
license plate, I would certainly give them time,
Yeah.
but no one's contacted me.
It's curious to me that they obviously saw it, cleaned the car, moved it, but yet still no tags. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't really speak to it, but if anybody, as long as we get a board, if we get a board order and then if the day is coming, they get a license plate in the vehicle and it's got a current tag, then it's no problem with the city and they've come to compliance.
Okay.
Okay. I move to enter an order finding the respondent in violation of code and require the respondent to correct the violation within 5 days of the board's written order. If the respondent does not comply within the time specified, the city may take all reasonable actions, including entry onto the property to abate and maintain the nuisance and charge the respondent with the reasonable cost which will become a lien on the property. If costs, fines, and fees remain unpaid for 3 months after such lien is filed, the city is authorized to foreclose, collect, or settle such lien.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Compliance will be met for the inoperative vehicle by obtaining and displaying a license plate with current tag for Toyota 4Runner or removing the vehicle from the premises.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any more business to come before this board? Well, the board is adjourned. Thank you.
Good job. Head of time.